You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.
Good afternoon, good morning, good evening. My name is Emerson Whitner, and this is your NXT audio update for Wednesday, January 27th, 2016. I want to kick things off by saying I am not going to spoil anything. However, I cannot wait for NXT TakeOver Dallas, that I will be at, by the way. But before that happens in about 8 weeks, let's get on to the show, shall we? Kicked off with American Alpha versus Blake and Murphy. American Alpha, if you don't remember, is the new team name for Jason Jordan and Chad Gable. And tonight they're here to do battle with yet another former set of tag team champions. They've previously beaten both the Vaudevillains and the Ascension. If they get past Blake and Murphy here, they still have the Lucha Dragons, the Wyatt family, and I guess technically Adrian Neville and Corey Graves, and Adrian Neville and Oliver Gray to go before they beat all of the former champions. But I got a feeling those last two ain't going to happen. Anyway, Gable completely outclassed both Blake and Murphy by himself. Murphy was trying to get the heat, but Gable took out both men by himself like it was nothing. The fans chanted that Blake's top knot looked stupid. Gable at one point used a hip toss on Murphy that looked more like a power slam. After being whooped by Chad, Murphy injured his knee by coming down from a leapfrog. It was horrible. His knee was out. I can't believe such a horrible injury could occur here on NXT. But then, a miracle occurred. Miraculously, Murphy, his knee was healed. Healed, my brothers and sisters. And he was able to attack Chad Gable from behind and continue the match. Now that I'm done being a preacher, the heels took over. They got the heat on Gable. That lasted very briefly until Gable backdropped Blake out of the ring. Jordan got the hot tag, and the NXT arena turned into full suplex university as Jordan suplexed both men time and time again before they won with their double team move. Alex, insert last name here, was backstage and he interviewed Emma and Dana Brooke. Next week, Emma will go one-on-one with Carmella. Dana pointed out that their tag team match last week was all about Bayley and had nothing to do with Carmella. They mocked Carmella that at one point she even lost to Blue Pants, and Emma said that she will have no problem with Carmella next week. We had Nia Jax versus Liv Morgan. Nia Jax had Brian Whitner's favorite wrestler in the world in the corner, and in case you're unaware of this, it's Eva Marie. Yeah, he is the only one. Don't ask me why, don't ask me how, it just is what it is. Anyway, Liv Morgan is the one that looks like a low-rent Caitlyn, and Nia just destroyed her. Something about this match tells me that it was total crap live, as there was more than one obvious edit during which, and Nia eventually won with a leg drop. Carmella cut a promo saying that she would beat Emma all by herself, saying that the Emma-lution was a freaking joke. Enzo and Cass took over the promo. Cass said Dash and Dawson were fat. Enzo said that he's so mad that he almost beat up the guy pumping his gas because he thought it was Dash and Dawson. They aired yet another heel Vaudevillains video. I want to point out they are no longer smiling. Bull Dempsey came out with a brand new theme. Yes, seriously, he has yet another brand new theme. And he went one-on-one with Alex Riley. Yes, really. Alex Riley is back from his knee injury. Remember a year ago when he quit his NXT announcing job so he could wrestle Kevin Owens, and then Owens beat the crap out of him over and over again? Well, Riley suffered a knee injury, and now he's back. I want to point out that when Owens got called to the main roster, they ended storylines with Alex Riley, Samoa Joe, Sami Zayn, and Hideo Itami, and none of which are going to get any sort of resolution, the closest being Sami Zayn throwing out Kevin Owens at the Royal Rumble. The announcers talked about how they didn't even know Riley was in the arena. Well, the ring announcer and the guy who cues the music certainly knew. Riley almost won with a neck breaker and did win with a knee to the face. Remember when Riley used to come out and he would get really good reactions for someone that was never on television? Well, this was not one of those times. No one cared. We then went to commercial, came back where Alex Riley was in a dark corner. Blech. Alex Riley was in a dark corner drinking water. He said the last 4 months he sent texts and emails to Stamford, Connecticut, updating them on his condition, and he received not a single reply. Something tells me if Vince got an email or a text, he immediately said, "Who?" Anyway, Riley's upset because NXT had video packages for Sami Zayn's return and in-depth profiles on Apollo Crews, and despite that, they had absolutely nothing about A-Rai. Elias Sampson pinned John Skyler next. John Skyler, and I wasn't the only person to notice this, he had Triple H's logo on the butt of his trunks. Or at least a logo that looked a lot like Triple H's logo. This match was fine. It was better than Sampson's other 2 squash matches, but that's kind of like saying being shot in the foot is better than being shot in the head. Elias won with a spinning neckbreaker. Bro, the Hype Bros were randomly talking about the Vaudevillains promo packages, bro. They became really annoying, bro, when they were talking about going clubbing, bro. Bro, then they talked about Zubaz, bro, and Mojo watching Ryder sleep, bro. They said bro in 30 seconds more than Vince Russo could ever dream of, bro. And then the main event, Baron Corbin, Sami Zayn, Samoa Joe, in a number 1 contenders triple threat match. I always love a good fight, and that's what this was. It was 3 guys who didn't go out there to do a collection of random spots or a bunch of random moves. It was 3 guys all with the same goal of winning the match, becoming the number 1 contender, and everything they did was all about trying to win the match. Joe started the match by tearing through both of his opponents for several minutes. He kept knocking Baron down and out outside the ring while beating on the smaller man. Sami was finally able to dispose of Joe, but as soon as he did that, Corbin attacked him from behind. The poor guy just could not catch a break until the commercial break, actually. Sami caught a break and was fired up as we came back from the last commercial, hit his amazing dive over the top rope to both men. All 3 of them broke up really close pins on each other. Corbin had Joe pinned with End of Days. Corbin also had Zayn pinned with a Black Hole Slam. Zayn had Corbin pinned with a Haluva kick. Joe at one point had pulled Sami Zayn outside the ring and choked him out. And the finish saw Sami Zayn put the sharpshooter on Corbin, and the referee did not ring the damn bell. Instead, Joe ran in and put Baron in the crippler crossface, so with him in both the sharpshooter and the crossface, Corbin had no choice but to tap out. And this led to the controversy of whose submission hold did Baron Corbin submit to. The fans all seemed to know where it was going, as they randomly shouted to have them fight in a singles match. Eventually, Mr. William Regal came out, and he said to the referee that he has to go to the back and review the tape before making a decision. It seems that they're obviously building to a one-on-one match with Zayn and Joe, but that's in the future, I guess. But for now, that's going to do it for yet another fun, exciting week of NXT. I want to thank you all for listening. I want you to head out to WrestlingOutsiders.com right now for free wrestling and MMA podcasts every day of the week. We did 1 hour after the Royal Rumble this past Sunday. We had MMA Monday with the Ultimate 95 actually. We had the Best of the Wrestling Outsiders podcast where we talked about the Breaking Point pay-per-view from 2009. We had the regular Wrestling Outsiders podcast with Royal Rumble 2005. And now we have this. So go check it out. Thank you for listening, and I hope you all have a good week.
You're listening to Emerson Whitner's NXT Report on the Angry Marks Podcast Network.